Good evening. My goodness, it's Monday and President's Day, and I had the day to go off to the NASA Space Center here in Cape Kennedy, or Cape Canaveral, Florida. And as I go through the different exhibits, I think of the creativity and the mental competence of the people that put these rockets together. And you look at all of the systems that they put together and how they get these things to go off and blast off. And then, of course, they had some films on some of the rockets that didn't make it and how sad those times were. But it brings me back to the mental capabilities of people and their ability to keep their cognitive function working at 100%. And so last week I was doing a session on the emotional wellness and the elements there, and then this week I was going to do one on physical wellness. But I see such an overlap in terms of the elements of healthy cognitive fitness and these two booklets as it relates to what one needs to do to achieve peak performance, which brought me back to my day I spent today at NASA, the Cape Center, and looking at the different exhibits and the rockets and moonshots and what we're doing with Artemis. And it just continues to remind me of the importance of having a brain that's working at its maximum capacity for everybody. And what does it take to bring a team of people together that have infinite skills that can create these things, that send these 100-ton things off into space, and now talking about the Mars and different planets, and wonder what's out there. And I say, let me just come and bring it back to the fundamentals. So let's fundamental. Eat a healthy diet. God, when do we get to realize that a healthy diet, some of the things that we input into our body is one of the things was what we eat. What else are we putting into our body? I don't want to get into that. Certainly the air we breathe. But what foods are we eating? Vegetables and fruits and grains and proteins and fats and unprocessed fats or unprocessed grains. What are we doing in terms of our own physical abilities and what we are physically doing and how it impacts our mental cognitive fitness? And so last week we talked about the emotional, we talked about stress and the elements of being mindful and getting sleep, and now we talk about health as it relates to diet. And how many of us stop and think about our diet has an impact on our sleep? And how we go through life and go through age-related changes impacts our stress and what we're thinking about. And what are the surroundings that we put ourselves in, the social interaction that we talk about. Who are the friends, the co-workers, neighbors, spouses, kids that make a difference in giving you a support group that you can lean on when you feel things are going off a little bit astray? What are the activities that you engage in? What is your hobby? What are the things you spend time on? So what are some of your healthy habits that you integrate into your day-to-day activities, weekly activities, even monthly activities that help you to be healthy in terms of your physical well-being, but also those healthy, physical well-beings and their impacts to you in terms of your mental health. And so what are the physical exercises that you're doing? What are the things that you're eating? What are the social surroundings you're putting yourself? Who's your support network? I mean, this just builds itself. And then how do you give yourself a pat on the back when it's time to say, you know what, I've done something really well? So it's an interesting thing. I've been trying to lose weight for a little bit, and I got myself to a new low. And I say, okay, today, when I was out at the Cape, I said, no, you know what, I'm going to bring some of my own food with me, and I'm not going to go eat at one of the fast foods that they have there at the Cape in their cafeteria style. And I said, God, I could have reward myself. My reward was actually, I'm going to keep this momentum going. I'm going to keep applying until I get to my goal, and then maybe a smaller reward. But the important thing of all of this is your own patience, your own determination and patience, that improving your own physical well-being, mental health as well as physical, takes some time. And we're all going to have setbacks from time to time. We're all going to get knocked on our butts, as I say, and we're going to dust off our backside. And we're going to get back up. It's perseverance and tenacity. And focus on the progress that you make. So when I'm teaching people, one of the things I do when I'm teaching people how to improve their memories, let's take something that we know that you can do and you feel comfortable with, and let's start with 10. So let's pick words to remember. We go through a loci method, we teach them some of the fundamentals of anchoring, we lay down some foundation points, and we say, now let's practice those foundation points and see where it takes you. Now let's see if we can make progress. Let's remember 5 words. You meet new people, names and faces. Let's remember 3 people that you met during your day today. Hey, let's get that foundation established and let's move forward, and let's take it up to 12 words, and let's take it up to 4 people and 4 new people. And so you're constantly improving over a period of time and not trying to set yourself off on these humongous goals that say, well, I've got to make a giant step forward because I got to do this and I got to do it like yesterday. And wait, well, you don't have to do it like yesterday. You've got time to make improvements, and you will have some setbacks. But focus on the fundamentals and the progress that you make, and not trying to always feel like you have to be perfect or otherwise you're flunked. So when you're looking at remembering names and faces of people and practicing the skill, understand the fundamentals of the skill. When you're trying to increase how many numbers, can I remember a 7-digit phone number? Can I remember someone's address? Can I remember a string of financial numbers in my personal, start with the checkbook, or my company's profits? Or can I read financial statements? Work on just building a string of 5. Can I remember 5 numbers? Can I take that to 7? Can I learn the fundamental skills of how one remembers a string of numbers? And yet when you look at our mental athletes in the competition, my goodness, they can go to a string of 500 numbers in 5 minutes, and you say, well, God, these people are freaks. No, they've practiced a fundamental skill and recognize that improvement of their memories take time. Improvements of how well you remember people's names and how you can make links and connections and build a fundamental foundation of how to do that takes time. When you want to remember your grocery list or things that you put on your to-do list, there are fundamental skills and practices that you apply that takes time. When you're reading a book, or you're reading for a class, or you're reading something that you need for a policy or procedure for work, or you're reading for something that you got in the mail that you have to go now and research, remember, how you improve your reading comprehension takes time. And all of the things I'm talking about have fundamental skills that you can improve over a period of time, given the right practice, or given the right techniques and skills that match to your brain, given the right teacher or coach or someone that's mentoring you, or maybe the right book that you're reading, and then the practicing of it, and then its application. So as I go through this book here, the first thing that hits me is you got to get active. You got to do something. Set specific goals. Find things, I go to the store, I'm going to remember 2 people's names. I'm going to remember the cashier and the person that greets me at the front desk. Okay, got it. Then realize you got to build muscle over a period of time, muscle skills like in your brain. With the foundation, I'm going to build the muscle over a period of time. It's amazing, as I've coached and watched people over 30 years, all of a sudden, bam, they snap in. Working with high school students, freshman year, sophomore year, oh God, and junior year, bam, they are snapping right into things. We're creating doctors that never thought they could be. So building your brain-like muscle takes time. Eating the right foods, fats, proteins, sugars, work on one thing for the next 30 days, just one thing, you're gonna reduce the sugar that you're putting, refined sugars into your body. We've got to read any more about refined sugars. You're gonna reduce those. You wanna build healthy habits over a period of time and recognize that over time, you can be successful at this with the right support, with the right social networks, and the right belief that you can do it. And I know after 30 years of running the USA Memory Championship, you can do it. And I see these people that these rockets, I see these films, I see these rockets that are in the displays, I see these educational displays. They do it. And as I heard one astronaut say in a talk he gave today, strike out the word impossible from the dictionary. Tell your teachers, you're friendly, there is nothing that's impossible. Let's eliminate that word from the dictionary. Have a good evening. It's Monday night, my goodness. I spent a wonderful day over at the Cape today, and it's time to shut it down for the day.